Tension, we all have it. Addressing tension means active engagement. Ignoring it does not work. The question is always, what do we do to alleviate the tension? Tension, we all have it. We have tension in relationships, doesn't matter what relationship. So we're going to have tension. The question is always, what do we do to alleviate the tension? How do we address the tension? Ignoring it does not work. We need to address it. Now, if I could easily with a pen just show us what happens, imagine that this is a rope. When there's tension, it means somebody else is pulling on this side and the other one is pulling on that side. What we need to do is to make sure that both of them actually let the tension slack. Otherwise, they pull one another over. So with that in mind, we want to slack, not the connection, we want to slack the tension. In all my years of working with relationships and tension, one of the most crucial key elements that I have found that works is to find what is the common ground. What is it that both are standing for? Because the moment that we start talking about what it is that we have in common, the more willing we are to hear the other one. Addressing tension means active engagement. So in a leadership situation, it's important to bring both parties in. Why are people pulling apart? Because they feel either not heard, not understood, not appreciated, and they feel that the other one is trying to overrule them. There's resistance. So when we start pushing, the other one is going to push back, otherwise I'm falling over. So get the people in. Start actually finding out what it is that they have in common. What is the common goal? And then start identifying what each party can bring to reach that common goal. Then all of a sudden, we are starting to validate and value both, and both have a buy-in in where we want to go. And then we start acknowledging that we have different ways of doing things. The more we start to get to understand one another, the easier it is to start working together, because we acknowledge the differences and we find ways to actually help one another to move forward. 1994 was quite a challenging time for us in the country. And what I've realized, and I was involved with a radio show, and we had but multicultural, and we were so politically correct, but the tension was underlying there. Nobody wanted to talk about certain things because we were really scared that we're going to step on one another's toes. So what started happening is we stopped talking about how we are different and actually stopped getting to know one another. Until one day I walked in a conversation and I addressed that and said, I want to know, I want to understand who you are. And the moment that we started the common ground is we want to actually get to know one another better. There was no judgment. There was no fear of stepping on one another's toes, because we were willing to hear the other one. We were willing to step in and say the common ground is we want to move forward. And the common ground is that we have to acknowledge that we are different. We don't have to denounce. We don't have to apologize for being different. What we need to start is appreciate and accept one another's differences, and then find a way to the common ground where we can still be who we are, but we've got the vision, we share a vision. Now when we're sitting with tension, amongst colleagues, that's exactly the same principle. Bring them in. Acknowledge the value of both. Acknowledge the common ground, define the common ground, and then find a way that both is willing to step in to meet that. And the moment that we feel heard, understood, valued, appreciated, and that I don't have to continuously feel that I don't have a space or I'm not being heard, when we remove the obstacles, the tension goes. We need to realize what is the common goal, and then we step into it. Another practical tip that I've learned, what helps, is the moment that people come in, they come in charged, they come in with emotions, they are ready to either protect or defend. That's where tension comes in. We want to take that away. So one of the easiest things to do that is to make both sit and actually ask everybody, and you do it with them, close your eyes and breathe. And you can have different breathing techniques that you can use. One of them is breathe in for 4, hold it for 7 and breathe out in 8. And you do that 3 times. What you do at that point in time, you actually reduce the charge that they come in with. And then, when everybody is calmer, it's a lot easier to have a conversation about where we want to go. We want to take away attack and defense reactions. So we want to release the tension. The moment that attack or defend is out of the way, we are in a place of actually meeting one another a lot easier and with a lot more ease, and we find a way to build the road walking forward. So how do we release tension? Take away attack and defense. Appreciate, acknowledge, really value one another and the contribution, the unique contribution that each one brings to where we want to go.